Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to go through every one of the revelations that Barry Weiss and Elon Musk and apparently Jack Dorsey have revealed. So hit subscribe to my super chat. Paul Bartlett, thank you so very, very much. I cannot thank you enough. To my super chat, thank you so much. Become a member of this channel, hit subscribe. We're almost at 201,000 subs. I have a little different setup from usual, so let's see how this goes. I think the technical issues have been addressed. And let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me okay? So let's just really quickly, can you see and hear me all right? Because this is going to be very, very important. Kristen, Eric, Mikey, everybody here. This is going to be really important, ladies and gentlemen. And this is, like I said, Twitter Files 2.0. They suppressed a story because it led to criminal activity. It's criminal activity. Okay? That's the issue. It's not about internal dialogue or a process. It has nothing to do with the process, ladies and gentlemen. This has to do with suppressing a story that leads to indictments, criminal conduct, graft, potential bribery, all of these things. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, right now to my super chat. Paul Bartlett, as always, thank you so very, very much. I'm going to go ahead and for the next 5 minutes, just read Barry Weiss's Twitter thread, and then we're going to get to super chats, and I want to thank everybody, and then we're going to get to a further discussion of what's going on. So this is the Twitter Files 2.0. Let's get started. Thread, the Twitter Files Part 2, Twitter Secret Blacklists. A new Twitter Files investigation reveals that teams of Twitter employees build blacklists, prevent disfavored tweets from trending, and actively limit the visibility of entire accounts or even trending topics, all in secret without informing users. Twitter once had a mission to give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. Along the way, barriers nevertheless were erected. Take, for example, Stanford's Dr. J. Bhattacharya, who argued that would be harmful. Twitter secretly placed him on a trends blacklist which prevented his tweets from trending. Or consider the popular conservative host Dan Bongino, who at one point was slapped with a search blacklist. Twitter set the account of conservative activist Charlie Kirk to do not amplify. Twitter denied it does such things in 2018. Twitter's Vijaya God, then head of legal policy and trust, and Kayvon Begpour, head of products, said, quote, "We do not shadow ban." They added, "and we certainly don't shadow ban based on political viewpoints or ideology." What many people call shadow banning, Twitter executives and employees called visibility filtering, or VF. Multiple high-level sources confirmed its meaning. Think about visibility filtering as being a way for us to suppress what people see to different levels. It's a very powerful tool, one senior Twitter employee told us. VF refers to Twitter's control over user visibility. It used VF to block searches of individual users, to limit the scope of a particular tweet's discoverability, to block select users' posts from ever appearing on the trending page, and from inclusion in hashtag searches, all without users' knowledge. We control visibility quite a bit, and we control the amplification of your content quite a bit. And normal people do not know how much we do. One Twitter engineer told us. 2 additional Twitter employees confirmed. The group that decided whether to limit the reach of certain users was the Strategic Response Team Global Escalation Team, or SRT-GET. It often handled up to 200 cases a day. But there existed a level beyond official ticketing, beyond the rank and file moderators following the company's policy on paper. That is the Site Integrity Policy Escalation Support, known as SIPPES. The secret group head included head of legal, policy, and trust, the global head of trust and safety, subsequent CEOs Jack Dorsey and Parag Agarwal, and others. This is where the biggest, most politically sensitive decisions got made. Think high follower account controversial. Another Twitter employee told us, for these there could be no ticket or anything. One of the accounts that rose to this level of scrutiny was an account that was on the Trends blacklist and was designated as do not take action on user without consulting SIPPES. The account, which Rachik began in November 2020 and now boasts over 1.4 million followers, was subjected to 6 suspensions in 2022 alone, Rachik says. Each time, Rachik was blocked from posting as long as a week. Twitter repeatedly informed Rachik that she had been suspended for violating Twitter's policy against, let's say, hurtful conduct. If I'm not reading every single word, there's a reason. So it's not like, Mikey Barbie, thank you. I will thank everybody. Just right after I read everything. Mikey, thank you again. So I will definitely thank everybody. I just want to read. And Mikey and Paul, I just want to read everything here, and then we'll talk about this. And to my super chat, I cannot do this without you people. I cannot do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. I really can't. Your super chat support is greatly, 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 greatly appreciated. And it's really, really important. So, but an internal SIP memo from October 2022, after her 7th suspension, the committee acknowledged that LTT has not directly engaged in behavior violative of the hurtful conduct policy. See here. So they're just doing so based on just pure ideology because they can't. Here's the thing. I'll get to my commentary after this. The committee justified her suspensions internally by claiming her posts encouraged online harassment of, quote, okay, by insinuating that, okay. Compare this to what happened when Rachik herself was doxxed on November 21st, 2022. A photo of her home with her address was posted in a tweet that garnered more than 10,000 likes. When Rachik told Twitter that her address had been disseminated, she says, Twitter support responded with this message. We received the reported content and did not find it to be violation of Twitter rules. Wow. No action was taken. The doxing tweet still up. Wow. Unbelievable. That should be legal action right there. Like specific if individuals are circumventing company policy, that's legal action. Jaded Vegas, hello. Everybody here, hello. Marion Sadowski, thank you. Thank you, Marion. Thank you so much. I will definitely spend more time thanking everybody. So I want to finish all of this. Thank you, Marion. In internal Slack messages, Twitter employees spoke of using technicalities to restrict the visibility of tweets and subjects. Here's Twitter's then head of global head of trust and safety in a direct message to a colleague in early 2021. So they're just finding ways to silence people. This is against the law, by the way, and I'll explain why this is against the law. 6 days later, in a direct message with an employee on the health, the official requested more research to support expanding non-removal policy interventions like disabling engagement and de-amplifying visibility filtering. So they were just and working to do their best to kind of just silence any opposing viewpoint. This is a problem. This is a problem. A big problem is very likely breaking the First Amendment because almost certainly because you're working to promote official government policy. Roth wrote, the hypothesis underlying much we've implemented is that if exposure, information that misinforms directly causes, we should use remediations that reduce exposure. But you never proved that any of the information caused harm. Furthermore, that laws already predate Twitter. We'll get to that in a second. He added, we got Jack on board with implementing this for civic integrity in the near term. Civic integrity, look at that. But we're going to need to make a more robust case to get this into our repertoire of policy remediations, especially for other policy domains. So they didn't even have policies to silence people. They just made things up. They were just making things up. They were just making things up. That's how they got things, that's how they silenced people. There's more to come to this story, which was reported again by the following journalists and the team, the Free Press. Keep up with this unfolding story here at our brand new website, thefreepress.com or thefp.com. The authors have broad and expanding access to Twitter's files. The only condition we agreed to was that the material would first be published on Twitter. We're just getting started on our reporting. Documents cannot tell the whole story here. A big thank you to everyone who has spoken to us so far. If you are a current or former Twitter employee, we'd love to hear from you. Please write to tips@thefp.com. Wow. Watch Matt Taibbi for the next installment. Wow. Oh, Lord. Come on. All right. So this is huge. This is actually very, very huge, and for a number of reasons, it's very important. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's see if I can get Matt Taibbi's. Why does it let me read? God. Oh my God. All right, sorry. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so he's talking about James Baker. Oh my Lord. All right, hold on 1 second. Start your engines. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about this. All right. So here's the issue here. Jaded Vegas! Thank you, Jaded Vegas. Aloha. HA, do you think anyone will be held accountable for this mess on Twitter? Absolutely. And do you think there's any possibility criminal violations with what they've done? Absolutely. Absolutely. Heard Mutiny, thank you. Here's what the problem is. Jaded Vegas, everyone here, Eric, everybody here, thank you so very much. Here's the issue. And Mikey, Marion, Jaded Vegas, Paul, everyone here, thank you so much to my super chat. Thank you. If you are not abiding by your own company policy, in Jaded Vegas, here's the issue. You're not abiding by your own company policy. You're telling people, you're telling the world. So these officials, including Dorsey, were on Joe Rogan, and Tim Pool called them out. Tim Pool called them out like 2-3 years ago. Everybody knows that Twitter, Wikipedia, most of tech, almost all of tech, favors the Democratic Party liberal ideology. Okay? Everyone knows this. There's not like, everyone knows this. There is no debate. There's really no debate or kind of like, nobody is debating any of this. The only thing, what people are trying to say, the rebuttal from Twitter executives or media or NBC News journalists or every publication that serves as a PR firm for the Democratic Party, what they're saying is, well, these are internal deliberations. What's the problem? These were internal deliberations. It is what it is. It happens. It was a tough time where, people, they could have got information that misinformed them and could harm them. It is not your job. If you are not abiding by company policy and you are coordinating with government officials, then you're breaking the law. Then you're breaking the First Amendment. If you're coordinating with government officials, if you are getting your marching orders from Democrats in the House of Representatives, that's a huge problem. Okay? This is why, we went through 2 years of a dystopian nightmare because people were not allowed to voice their concerns, their thoughts, their feelings, research that wasn't sanctioned by a consensus that Twitter abided by. Consensus is not part of the Constitution. I don't think the word consensus can be found in the Constitution, and I could be wrong. Consensus is a word that Democrats use to address accurate information that opposes their viewpoints. A rebuttal. They don't say that something is false. Like the Steele dossier was false. It wasn't information that misinforms. It was completely fabricated and false. Information that misinforms or misinformation is a euphemism. It means a rebuttal, an opposing argument that will lead you astray. But leading you astray is subject for debate. It's an opinion, it's a viewpoint. It's not a fact that if you disagree with the Democratic Party, you'll be led astray. Misinformation is a vantage point. And so this is definitely going to lead to people possibly being charged with criminal conduct, because when you're actively deceiving people and you're hiding behind a corporation, you could pierce. When you're engaged in criminal conduct or actively deceiving people, especially when you're engaged in criminal conduct, you could pierce a corporate veil. So you can't hide behind a corporation if you're actively deceiving people. Now, will anyone be charged? I'm not sure. I think this is a much bigger issue than if just people are going to be charged or not. Because this is the lifeblood of the Democratic Party is indignation and consensus, emotion, and a fabricated an agreement among the smartest people in the room that a certain viewpoint must be cherished. That they created these sacred cows, ladies and gentlemen. So Jaded Vegas, they created a consensus based on silencing opposing viewpoints. They were able to impose their viewpoints because they silenced any counter argument or opposing views. That's how they roll. Democrats do not like debate. And when they debate, they generally, their rebuttals are usually in the form of an apoplectic or hysterical or emotional response with maybe a kernel of truth, with maybe some factual data. Okay, if you could just watch The View, for example, or you could watch certain people on the left. You can watch TYT and the two pundits there, how they reacted to Tim Pool when there was a mass tragedy. You can see, like, Democrats, for example, they enjoy these traumatic events. It could be like a, God forbid, a tragedy. It could be like, 2 years where people are just petrified and, there's, cancer and heart disease ended the lives of more people, but they focused on one catastrophe. Zach, I don't know. I'm not familiar. I have to look them up. I'm not familiar with them. Zach, thank you. What they do, the Democrats do, is they create a fabricated consensus. And then they enforce their sensibilities or fabricated consensus or viewpoints through coercion, censorship, suppression of speech, violating the First Amendment. So, they're breaking First Amendment laws. And we knew this. When you are amplifying left-leaning voices and silencing conservative voices, and you're doing so, like the thing with Libs of TikTok, that account, what they do is actually just, all they do really is retweet, or they just show actual videos from people on the left. The reason that it's such a popular account is that the videos from people on the left, whether it's like an Instagram post or TikTok or whatever, they're so bizarre. They're so utterly bizarre that it's embarrassing. So that's the issue. Generally, the viewpoint the past 2 years that was viewed as paramount, and like, I'm trying to speak in roundabout terms because you just can't address certain topics, but what we experienced 2 years, for 2 years or 3 years, okay, going on 3 years now, they were able to blame Trump for everything. They were able to silence any criticism, critique. They were able to paint themselves as the good guys. They were able to paint themselves as the educated, morally superior, because they silenced opposition. That's the Orwellian part of the Democratic Party. They don't like an ongoing dialogue. These are the actual authoritarians and totalitarians. If you disagree with them, their sensibilities now are embedded within social media algorithms, especially on Twitter. So if you disagreed with them, for example, ladies and gentlemen, if you disagreed with them, That was like a huge problem. You were kicked off of Twitter or any other platform. With the Hunter story, the Hunter Biden story, the issue is there was a fabricated consensus that it was hacked material or that it could be, but actually it never was. We all knew that it was actual, like, we all knew that the laptop belonged to Hunter. We all knew this. But they, Twitter is about emotion. Propaganda is about emotion. It's not about information and it's not about convincing anyone. It's about emotion. If you can amplify certain emotions and suppress other emotions, like for example, suspicion, distrust, resentment, disdain, contempt, if you can amplify those towards your political rivals, you have it made. You have it made. So Jaded Vegas, I think that there's a case to be made that these people there is a case to be made that these people committed crimes. Um you can't just I Caroline, hello. You can't just fabricate you can't just fabricate and make up excuses to silence people. And I think the criminal act is creating policies um, that don't correlate with your company guidelines. I mean, it might not be a criminal act. It could be. It's definitely. It could be a campaign finance violation. You're providing the Democratic Party with a service. So you're providing not just a thing of value. You're giving free political advertising. I mean, that's what Jimmy Kimmel does all the time. So I mean, you're providing free political advertising. So Confucius, hello. So I mean, basically, you have a whole lot of people now who are on the defensive, and Twitter will not have the like Democrats will not have Twitter anymore. They won't have Twitter anymore as a digital extension of its political party, of their political party. This is like an enormous, enormous, enormous revelation. I mean, if you're silencing Charlie Kirk and Dan Bongino, okay, you're also silencing people on the left you don't like as well. It's not just conservatives, although it's majority conservative. It's the far left also. It's the left. It's the left leaning people that don't fit into that actually don't see Trump or DeSantis as being worse than the Democratic Party. Phoebe, will Response be Twitter is a privately owned company, so they can censor what they want? Will Trump sue? Trump should sue because I'm not sure. Did he sue Twitter? I'm not sure if he sued Twitter, but he didn't. He was never. There was never. He was never a part of any criminal activity. They never accused him in a court of law, indicted him, arrested him, anything. So, Dan, thank you. So when they banned him, there was no reason other than we don't like his words. We think his words cause criminal activity, and that's what we think happened. But they didn't. These are their sensibilities talking. They can prove anything in a court of law. They can never prove anything in a court of law. That's why they've spent 7 years to get Trump Organization and not Trump. And they didn't like it. The Trump Organization is still around. Phoebe, thank you. They can't also claim. Here's the issue. They can't just claim it's a private company when the private company is not even abiding by its own policies. That's also the issue here. That's also the issue here. So when when you have Marcus, that would be cool. When you have the when you have Twitter officials stating that they're simply abiding by protocol and lying, I think that could be a legal issue. When they are making things up, there has to be some type of legal repercussions because you just can't. It's a private company that claims neutrality. Same thing with the Democratic National Committee. Now, what the DNC did, and there was a DNC a lawsuit. What the DNC did was they said, "Oh, okay, um, we can just pick our nominee in smoke-filled back rooms." So that's what the DNC did. But I mean, the now the mask has been pulled off. The curtain has been, you know, pulled aside. You can see what's really. You can see. Here's the issue. Now they're gonna say, well, it's not that big of a deal. Charlie Kirk and Dan Bongino said a lot of mean things, or they said bad things, and we're trying to protect people, but it was never their job. Twitter's job is not to protect anyone other than people who have been harassed or threatened on Twitter. That's true. Dorsey did testify before Congress. So that's true. That could be, he could have possibly, based on these revelations, there could be an issue with perjury, although I don't know. That is an issue. But you have, like, for example, the past 3 years, Democrats have had full and absolute control of the media narrative, and they needed Twitter. They needed Twitter. Joel Valdez, thank you. They needed Twitter, Jaded Vegas and Phoebe. They needed Twitter to go ahead and um, create this media narrative that Trump was a menace to democracy, and it became a social type of credit score. Oh, you were banned off of Twitter? You were suspended from Twitter? You know, the global commons, you were too extreme. These are the words they use. Warning, caution. This information misinforms. These are all creative ways to say we disagree with what this person is saying. They actually are forming an argument that we don't like. We can spend the time and disagree, but we're not going to disagree. What we will do is we will simply silence the person by saying they are just too extreme. Joel Valdez, thank you. Thank you, Joel. They are just too extreme. Look, they did this, Joel and everybody here. They did this with the past 3 years. They did this with January and Trump. They did this with Trump Russia. They did this with voices like, I mean, they silenced voices like Dan Bongino and Charlie Kirk. They banned Trump. And there was a list of, I don't know, 70, 80, 100 plus conservatives or something around that number. And so, and here's the real issue, ladies and gentlemen, okay? This is what it comes down to. Democratic Party cannot actually defend its viewpoints, okay? Morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats can't really defend their viewpoints. They can't claim in a court of law that Trump worked with the Kremlin. Alan Harkin! As usual, excellent presentation of latest treachery. Well done. Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much, sir. Alan Harkin, thank you. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated for all the kind words. Thank you for all the kind words, Alan. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Thank you. I appreciate your kindness and generosity. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. They don't want to debate because if they debate, they'll lose a debate. Okay? The economy is not doing well. Oil prices are down because there's recession fears. Mikey! Am I too extreme? No, not at all. Kevin, hello. Mikey, thank you. If Democrats have to defend the economy, they can't do that. If Democrats have to defend the accusation that Trump was a operative of the Kremlin, they can't do that. If Democrats have to defend the claim that Trump was responsible for January, they can't. If Democrats have to defend the the $1 to $2 billion in property damage that summer, which I support and respect people who demonstrated, but at the same time, $1 to $2 billion in property damage and 19 lives lost, according to Wikipedia. Not a peep from Democrats, not a word from Democrats. And that's the issue, ladies and gentlemen. There's a double standard. The double standard relies on Twitter, relies on algorithms. Okay? If you can control emotion, then you've won a political battle. Okay? The truth about the Democratic Party will make people vote Trump. And here's the problem. Now, getting into Trump and DeSantis, the truth about the Democratic Party should make people vote Trump. But if Trump gets in his own way, I can amend that statement. The truth about the Democratic Party will make people vote Trump or DeSantis. Okay, this is why Democrats disown friends and family. This is why they disown friends and family. They don't realize or acknowledge or even know or understand or comprehend the corruption and criminality on their political side, within their political side. They don't think it even exists. Their idea of politics is, oh my God, everyone is saying what I'm saying. So their view of politics is, well, the Washington Post and the New York Times are repeating everything I feel, or I repeat everything they say, or vice versa. It's like this collective groupthink mentality where anyone who deviates, even people on the left, are viewed as blasphemers, heretics. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, like Trump has to capitalize. If he cannot capitalize on this, then DeSantis can swoop in. I don't think there's anything that can stop. I think DeSantis is unstoppable in 24. I think that there are too many independents and too many people who know about this corruption now, but are tired of the circus. Now, it's not fair. It's not right. What Democrats have done in media, what they've done is they have had such a temper tantrum of such biblical proportions. They've had a temper tantrum of biblical proportions, so much so that even a terrible economy, real wages down 8.5%, inflation at 8%, okay? And then they say, oh, well, it went down to 7.7. Like, who cares? You have real wages still down 8.5%. Inflation is still going to go up. The only reason oil prices are down now is because of a recession on the horizon, yet another one. Nobody likes mashed potato brains, and Democrats barely held on to the Senate. And that's with state parties. Here's another issue: the Georgia and Arizona state parties have it out for Trump. If Trump can make peace with them, there's no stopping Trump. If Trump cannot make peace with the Georgia and Arizona state parties, then there's no way for 24. Then it's 8 years of Biden or 4 years of Hillary Clinton or 8 years of Hillary Clinton. He has to make peace. If Trump can make peace with, or, you know, some kind of reconciliation, some kind of olive branch, there has to be some kind of olive branch with these state parties, because the Arizona and Georgia Republican parties within those states, the Georgia and Arizona Republican parties are in a never-ending existential battle with Trump. They will never back a candidate supported by Trump. Phoebe, me, exactly. I love Trump and DeSantis. I think they're both fantastic. I think they're both fantastic. My first choice is still Trump, but if he continues to do himself in like a dinner, then the Constitution, it's just, But yeah, I mean, they create a consensus and then they enforce their consensus. It's a fabricated consensus on any topic: foreign policy, um, any topic under the sun. They silence opposing viewpoints and they sweep any criminality and corruption under the rug. And then Democrats in Thanksgiving throw the turkey at their conservative cousin or friends or family members, or don't even invite them to Thanksgiving because, of course, the Republicans or Trump Republicans are the side of immorality. Meanwhile, Hunter is doing who knows what. Herd mutiny, hello. Who is Sam? Let's see. Let's see. Hold on one second. Herd mutiny, thank you. Nice. Sam Arano. Very nice. Let's see. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Oh, the herd. Sorry. Thank you. Herd. Thank you. Nice. I'm looking at his Twitter profile. Nice. Tel Aviv. Very cool. Thank you. So, the issue, ladies and gentlemen, is the following. Democrats are rolling in. This is a wounded political party. Even though they just won the Senate, you have to understand Trump had every conceivable advantage. Democrats had every conceivable advantage. They leveled everything, including the kitchen sink, at Trump. Okay? They had every conceivable advantage possible, and they barely held on to the Senate. Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. Let me ask you this question, Alan. Everybody here, thank you again, Alan. Heard mutiny. Thank you. Let me ask you this: who capitalizes on Democrat corruption better, Trump or DeSantis? We got 332 people here. I want you to answer this. All 330 plus people. Who capitalizes on Democratic corruption better, Trump or DeSantis? Who is able to utilize the criminality or corruption better? Who is more convincing? Who at this point can actually articulate the corruption from the vantage point of taking advantage? I'm talking about not just bringing it up. Yes, Trump brings it up. Yes, yes. I'm talking about who can take advantage politically. Oh my God. Well, the people have spoken. But I don't know if I asked the poll. I don't know if I asked the. I don't know if I asked it correctly. I'm talking about taking advantage of it, not exposing it. I'm talking about. I'm talking about being able to take advantage of it and say, okay, vote for me. Okay, well, the people have spoken. I mean, here's the thing. I love Trump, and I love Trump, but I'm telling you right now, this like, and Trump is my first choice, but I will tell you this: if he continues to kind of with the dinner and the Constitution, if he continues to do that, he will not be able to capitalize on the Twitter Files 2.0 or impeachment. You will have independents say, I don't want to vote for Trump. He's talking about the Constitution. That's the issue here. And I, look, you know what? I agree with you. DeSantis has yet to be tested on a national stage. Um, and I don't think anyone should like. I'm not saying give up on Trump. I don't think that. But I'm just saying there might be too many people now who are independents. There might be too many people, okay, that would rather have a recession or censorship or any corruption as long as they don't have to hear the media meltdown about Trump every second. And it's not fair and it's not right, and that's why I think DeSantis should run, and it would be interesting to see them both. I like Trump better at this point, but it would be interesting to see DeSantis prove himself. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because if Trump capitalized on Democratic corruption, he would be in his second term now. Exactly. KM. Exactly. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um, you know what? I didn't see J Spot. I didn't see anything yet. If you have when Trump like puts something on Truth Social, if he gets back on Twitter, okay, a lot of the times what Trump will do is the following, and it was a strategy that worked up until recently. Okay, I would say the past 3 years it did not work. But what Trump will do is he'll take like the Twitter files, the first Twitter files, and he'll say there's so much criminality. There's so much criminality that even parts of the Constitution might not apply in addressing this rampant corruption and criminality. That is counterproductive. That's counterproductive. Exactly. Saying, I just, I don't want to be like, I know media sensationalizes everything. Joel Valdez! How do you, I love the, hey, love the profile. How do you know DeSantis is being used by Mitch and the Rhinos? Because the Lincoln Project opposes DeSantis. That's one major reason. That's one major reason. And Mitch McConnell he only has money. Mitch McConnell only controls with money. That's the only reason anyone would listen to Mitch McConnell on anything. And DeSantis has a lot of money. Trump has a lot of money. So I don't think either of them need DeSantis. I mean, any. I don't think either of them need Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell only. The only reason that Mitch McConnell is in a leadership position is that he can allocate funding. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. But DeSantis has a lot of money in terms of fundraising. But I mean, it'll be interesting. I just think that, there has to be a way to capitalize on this politically. Okay. And what I mean by capitalize, I mean this new revelation where they're actually silencing people. We can go and look at this like you have people like this is sinister. You have information that could help humanity being silenced. This is sinister. This is sinister. Okay? And like part of addressing really nefarious, sinister, evil people is being effective, not just shouting out, "Hey, these are evil people. These are corrupt people." Okay? That's all fine. That's good. That's great, okay? Like I mean, I think Trump is fantastic because he was a wrecking ball and he was like he was a like he was courageous enough to take on a very corrupt system. Eric, I agree to a great extent. He was Trump was courageous enough to take on a very corrupt system, and he did that. That's like people don't understand. Like how do you go from Bernie Sanders to Trump? When I was on the left, I was convinced for a moment that Bernie Sanders would take on this corrupt system. Bernie Sanders and the Lincoln Project vote Democrat. They're part of the same very corrupt system that creates fabricated tribalism. This is like the Democratic Party is about tribalism. That's why they can't accept different viewpoints. That's why they need to censor. It's like a cult. Try telling a cult leader that, they can't walk on water or whatever. They can't, they're not actually descended from God. Okay. Cults actually, one hallmark is that they tell you to disown friends. And that's the Democratic Party. Democrats don't want to be friends with people that don't agree with them. Okay, because they're then forced to be open to a new vantage point. They can't have that because oftentimes an opposing viewpoint is more correct or logical or rational, reasonable than the Democratic Party viewpoint. Joel Valdez, remember Trump loves to be underestimated. I agree with you on that. That's how he comes back and knocks you down swiftly with just a couple of words. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. I think that when he's the underdog, when Trump is the underdog, that's when he shines. That's when he shines. And no doubt, great point, Joel Valdez. Thank you. That's when he shines. That's when you don't bet against him. I'm not betting against Trump if he shows up. If he does the training, if he shows up, I'm not betting against him. J Spot 51. The private company argument doesn't hold weight if we follow that line of thinking, influence the company to deny. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not giving up on Trump. Trump has to earn your vote, my vote. And he's done that. He's done that. But it's fourth and goal now, or third and goal. Okay, you can't lateral the ball, or you can't, I don't even know, like you can't run a quarterback sneak on fourth and goal on the 6 yard line. Like like all I'm saying is that here's the issue, that like I'm not giving up on Trump. I'm telling you everybody clearly, he's my first choice. Record low poverty in 2019. Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, first president to step foot in North Korea. These are things that Democrats or Republicans would never do. Bringing home Americans, which called for a May 1st, 2021 withdrawal that Biden completely botched. Move the embassy to Jerusalem, Golan Heights, everything. These are things that I appreciate. Okay? I'm assuming that DeSantis, because DeSantis was pretty much like Trump, that's what makes him great. But he doesn't have some of the political obstacles that Trump faces. And the dinner and the Constitution thing, if he continues with that, it's like 8 years of Biden or Hillary. You will have, I'm telling you, I was the only person, like, I'm not right about everything, but I'm right about a lot of things. I'm not right about everything. Okay? But I have a pretty good pulse of what's going on. I said Trump would win in 2016. Nobody believed me. I'm not on the wrong side of it. Here's the thing. Nobody here owes allegiance to anybody. The only thing we should look at is what's best for the country. Trust me, I was the most vocal Bernie Sanders supporter. I've been one of the most vocal Trump supporters. If it takes me this long to realize, hey, you know what? There's an issue. Trust me, it's not because I'm fickle. It's not because I'm fickle. What I'm saying is, if he rebounds, you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, when people are like, today I did a couple of DeSantis videos, and people are like, I'm unsubbing! And I'm like, don't unsub, because hopefully you'll just be back. Everyone who says that they're gonna unsub because I'm saying, you know what, um, DeSantis is could very easily, or could possibly overtake Trump. I don't think people understand this. I don't think people understand where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from like, oh, I believe the media narrative on Trump. I don't. I understand the media is deceitful. I understand that um I understand that and that possibly could be the case. If DeSantis does melt, then Trump, you know, I want to see them both on a national stage. That's all. I want what's best for the country. I don't think that I owe anyone, or you owe anyone. You watching right now, you don't owe Trump, you don't owe DeSantis anything. You owe yourself or the country a great, wonderful future. If that entails you looking at both and saying, okay, DeSantis is actually proving himself perhaps to be better, or perhaps to be um, better politically, then that's it. I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't tell you. I'm saying at this point right now, if he continues with the Constitution, it ain't gonna work out. If he continues with the messages or dinners, it's not gonna work out. And then, you know, um, but yeah, I mean, this you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen. I want I want somebody to capitalize on this corruption. You know, Mitt Romney is not. He doesn't care. You know, Liz Cheney. Um, Liz Cheney like enjoys this corruption. So you have to capitalize on this. You have to be able to utilize this, like everything we see now with the Twitter 2.0 and Trump or DeSantis. Let's say Trump right now, he's running. He has to find a way to say, vote for me. Okay, because everybody here, including me, we'll vote for Trump. If Trump, we'll vote for Trump. But if he can't capitalize on it, then we'll get 4 years of Biden. Okay, let me ask you this question. Let me ask everybody this question. Let me ask you this question. And this is not in any combative manner, because I'm telling you right now, Trump is my first choice right now. Okay, I'm just trying to it took me a long time, because if you remember, if you watch this channel, I was like, DeSantis is gonna get the same thing. You just stick with Trump. But let me just ask you this question. If Trump continues with surprise dinners, we're talking about the Constitution, can he beat Biden in 24? Answer this honestly, people. If he has, in the next 2 years, with surprise dinners and the Constitution and the media meltdown, media hysteria, even if here's the thing, they take him out of context. I know that. If Trump continues with the surprise dinners and talking about the Constitution, can he beat Biden in 24? Lisa, hello. I mean, think about independence. I'm not talking don't look at yourself. Look, what do you think independence will do? That's who decides these elections. Legalize freedom, hello. Legalize freedom, hello. I agree. He should say anything he wants, but if it hurts him politically, what's the point? That's my point. I agree with everybody here that it's okay. This is just my viewpoint now. Look, it's just my viewpoint now. I would love to see Trump speak to interview with CNN or MSNBC or more Fox News interviews. The thing is, the more that he promotes himself, the better. He's nowhere to be found now. That's the thing. Legalize freedom. Thank you so very much. Legalize freedom. Thank you. I know that he had no idea who Ye's friend was. That's the thing. He had no idea. I understand that. But it's bad politically. That's the only thing I'm saying. Legalize freedom. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Tammy. Believe me, you know, I agree with Joel, everybody here. I do agree with you. It would be fantastic to have Trump in the Oval Office tomorrow, because he would continue to rid a very address a very corrupt system. Lincoln Project foreign policy, in corrupted loyalists within the intel communities, other agencies. Yeah, Trump is fantastic at that, and he's the only politician who would actually go ahead and I don't doubt that. Startle Mouse, I don't doubt that. I look forward to seeing that. We had record low unemployment, real wages were up, we had poverty at a record low ever. His servant, yeah, I agree with you. And it's I mean, I'm not giving up on Trump at all. This is not about. I'm just simply saying, if he doesn't address the obstacles, because he lost track of the narrative. Look, he's banned on every social media platform still, or no, he could be back on Twitter tomorrow. He needs to get back on Twitter. Legalize freedom. Thank you. He needs to get back on Twitter. Trump needs to get back on Twitter. He must. He absolutely must. Because the media is just twisting the entire narrative more so than they ever did. That's the issue. And if you look at you look at all this corruption, how are you going to benefit politically? Because what's going to happen is if you don't have a standard bearer, if you don't have somebody leading the charge saying, "Hey, vote against this for me. Vote for me." Not here's the corruption. It has to be here's the corruption and vote for me. It can't just be here's the corruption and I've been wronged and you know what, the Constitution doesn't apply and I didn't know who Ye's friend was. It has to be here's the corruption and I will give you examples of how I'm going to rid this corruption, or at least address the apoplectic. Like, you know what he could do tomorrow to diffuse all of media? Joel Valdez, we get you, Itchy. Thank you, Joel. Thank you. He should go like he did in 2015 and 2016. I was in an airport. I remember Joel Valdez. Joel Valdez is the only viewer to have a super chat with his name on it. Nah, I think there might have been another person. Joel Valdez! Kevin! Joel Valdez! Joel Valdez! Kevin Duder! Joel Valdez! I was at a Yay Hop. Eric H526. Eric H526 is an amazing comedian. You have to watch. You have to read everything he says though, because he'll just spring it on you real quick. Um, I agree with you, J Spot, but you know what? He has to find a way. He has to find a way. I was eating at a lounge or whatever. This was in 2016. Yeah, 2016. And like in every airport, like um, CNN is playing on every airport. And I remember looking at Donald Trump on CNN, okay? And people around were gathering at the airport. That's the magic. Some people were like, "What? Hey, it's Trump? He's on CNN? He's amazing." And I was looking and I was like, "This is I was on the left and I was saying, "Oh my God, this is like changing the paradigm." That's what has to happen. He has to get back that electricity and mojo. It's totally possible. I hope he does. George S. Internal secret poll shows them Trump will win. Yeah, I mean, he has even if he messes up, he has a good chance. But if he doesn't make inroads if he doesn't off like a peace offering or a George, if he doesn't get a olive branch, doesn't give an olive branch to the Georgia and Arizona state Republican parties, it's curtains. So that's the thing. No. I don't want Trump to kissy kissy. No, I don't. I don't think Trump will ever be like, my fellow Americans, thank you so very much. Um, I don't think he'll be like, I don't feel like Mitchell McConnell is the best. He's a fantastic person. Mitch, thank you so much. You're an awesome Senate Minority Leader. You're fantastic. Hopefully, you can come over Mar-a-Lago, Mitch McConnell. I don't think that'll ever happen. No. I don't want that. I don't want that. If Republicans fail to counter the system behind 4 a.m. and up, You will have zero chance. Yes. And that is Shungu Patsika. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Shungu Patsika. Thank you for always watching and for being here for such a long time. Greatly appreciated. Shungu Patsika. Thank you. Thank you. Great point. Great point. Great point. That has to do with my addressing the Republican state parties in Georgia and Arizona, which DeSantis might have a better relationship with. Shungu Patsika, thank you. Thank you. Shungu Patsika, thank you so very much. That has directly to do with the state parties. You have to have a good relate. The Republicans don't have the same type of state political parties. There is no equivalent within the Democratic Party of Georgia or Arizona. So Shungu Patsika, thank you so much. Shungu, there's no equivalent. The Georgia and Arizona Republican parties basically gave the middle finger to anyone associated with Trump. And they would rather have Democrats control the Senate. And that's the problem. And that's a hurdle that Trump has to overcome. Great point. I agree with you. Ronna McDaniel has to go, but I don't think she will. And I think like Kevin McCarthy has an uphill battle, but Kevin McCarthy, ladies and gentlemen, if he's backed by Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Jim Jordan, give him a chance. I'm reading some. If I think that McCarthy will prove himself. Okay, you pretty much know who's who. Okay, you pretty much know who's who. I agree with you saying I agree with you. You know who Mitch McConnell is. Joe Valdez, thank you so very much for your support. And everybody here, thank you, Joe Valdez. Oh, are you serious? Mitch McConnell. Uh-oh, my computer almost messed up. I can't believe it, though. Can't believe it, though. Bizarre. The computer almost messed up, which would have been, I would have started crying, tell you the truth. Then let me ask you this. Why did Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump and Jim Jordan back McCarthy? All right, let me ask this then. Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Why did Trump and hi Caroline, thank you. Hello. Why did and Jim Jordan back Kevin McCarthy? So let me ask you this, everybody. Eric Samurai. That's true, but okay. So why did MTG and Jim Trump? This was supposed to be a rhetorical question. The polls are not working in my favor tonight. Let me tell you. I'm like, listen, who capitalizes better? Like Trump, 90%. Come on, people, now. Come on now. That's true, Eric. That's true. Good point. But I do think, I mean, it's pretty good. The FTX debacle should be really fun. I was watching Jimmy Dore today. Jimmy Dore is a treasure, along with Tim Pool. These are like, man, along with Black Conservative Patriot, a lot of great. One, Hard News Network is fantastic. There's so many great. Yes, finally, rhetorical poll that works in my favor. Yes. Eric. Ah, yes. Obi, hello. Can we have a neither join? Come on now. Because my last polls, I'm like, you see, if I just do this poll, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Well, no, it didn't work. Jimmy Dore is awesome. Dan, hello. Whoa, 50-50, 14 each. Eric. Come on, people, answer the poll, answer the poll. No, Tammy, don't let this. No, no, no. Don't let any of this raise your blood pressure. This is all actually. It'll be Shungu Batsika. Thank you again. This will all be like the pendulum is swinging towards logic and reason. So, or freedom of speech. Look, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, they all experience what we do. The wonderful, all these wonderful, highly educated countries love to suppress and silence speech. So, but the pendulum is Elon Musk knew that this would be used against him. He knew that. He knew that. I pulled yes, Paul. Hello. Yeah, Lance, he's awesome. And Jenny, yeah. Jimmy Dore wins that battle 100% of the time. Candy K, yes, that is true. They could both be true. You're right. I never thought of it that way. So, yeah, I mean, Elon Musk did the world an amazing favor. He really did the world an amazing favor. Amazing thing. So, so, Aunt Jenny, thank you. Let's go ahead. Let's read this really quickly. Elon Musk's second installment Twitter files reveals secret blacklist. Barry Weiss reports. Barry Weiss reported details of Twitter's. And you know what? Barry Weiss is an example of a journalist that really um, became an actual amazing, amazing journalist. Like, she was part of the Matrix for a little while, and then became a lot more independent in terms of thought process. And, you know, I think she saw what the quote unquote establishment or polite society was all about. Polite society is not polite at all, it's impolite. Kevin Mitchell, thank you, Kevin, for watching. George, I don't know why. Sometimes that happens. Mikey, hello. Um, Barrio Eyes reports detail of Twitter censorship practices before the Musk takeover. This is an important one. Think about visibility filtering as a way for us to suppress what people see it to different levels. It's a very powerful tool. And so that's the thing. I mean, why do they suppress? Because they know that they know that an opposing viewpoint will be too much for their political side to okay, here's another poll. This is more important than Trump, DeSantis, or anything we're talking about. Okay, here it is. Are you ready? Are you ready? KM, hello. Are you ready, everybody? You ready? Are you ready? Dun 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 dun. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Come on, everybody. Superman or Batman? Give me your thoughts. Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, I figured Superman. I mean, I think Superman will always have the edge. I think anybody who flies always has the edge. Um, you know. So let's continue. Let's continue. Um, you look, ladies and gentlemen, and the Hunter Biden story, why was it suppressed? Okay, the reason it was suppressed is because it leads to it's about criminal conduct. Criminal conduct. The issue is about criminal conduct. That's why they suppressed the story. That's why they suppressed the story, because Joe is implicated in criminal conduct. Shungu Batsika, thank you. George, thank you. Kevin, Joel, Legalize Freedom, thank you. Joel Valdez, thank you as always. Herd Mutiny, thank you. Alan, thank you as always. Alan Harkin, thank you. The reason that the story was suppressed is because um, the reason the story was suppressed is because it is about criminal behavior on the Democratic Party side. It's actually a great deal more in terms, there's a great deal more in terms of criminal conduct than anything they leveled against Trump. So it's a great deal more in criminal conduct. They don't have like what they have with What they have with Biden is money flow. Like they don't have one transaction with Trump. That's the thing. They don't have one transaction where you're talking about criminal conduct with Trump. And let me just really quick, like, no, not DeSantis again. They'll go ahead. Debbie, hello, Debbie, hello. They'll go ahead and create a DeSantis dossier. They'll do the same thing, the template, the rubric, the roadmap, everything that they do, they did to Trump, they'll do to DeSantis or any Republican. It ain't going to happen, but like if Mitt Romney was the nominee again, he would lose again, obviously, but they'd have a Romney dossier. The Romney dossier. A good Republican, Romney. Mitch McConnell dossier. That's how they roll. They roll with dossiers, suppression. I mean, the people who actually, here's the thing, the people who actually break First Amendment laws are Democrats. That they're more indignant, and the indignation is about, like, oh, did you see what Trump said about the Constitution? And by the way, here's the issue. Trump never said he wanted to terminate the entire Constitution. Those are the headlines, though. And he has to watch out for that. So, I mean, you look and it's just, it's unbelievable. What I didn't like was they had hashtag wrong Trump when they had hashtag wrong Trump when Trump's brother passed away. Like, what's the point of having all this power if you're just gonna, like, they do everything they can to silence actual journalism, viewpoints they don't like, and they do so only because they know they can't survive politically if things aren't suppressed. They know that they cannot survive politically. House Democrats scheduled to appear. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh my god, that is so hilarious. House Democrats cancel big oil hearing where Elon Musk was scheduled to appear. I guess the planet can take a back seat. Elon Musk. Joe Valdez. I'll keep saying it's sedition what they've done. It will snowball. I agree with you. I agree with you. The legal definition is, whatever. People can say up in the air, whatever. But Joe Valdez, the corruption is what needs to be capitalized. And according to the polls, that we know who capitalizes the most. But the person that can defeat Democrats in 24 needs to capitalize on this endless corruption. Joel Valdez, thank you. As always, Joel, thank you. House Democrats abruptly cancel big oil here. There goes big. There goes their. It's so hilarious too because you have like AOC and the progressives in Congress. Oh my God, we're gonna go after big oil. We're gonna go after big oil. What? Elon Musk is coming. You know what? Big oil can do whatever it wants now. We're not gonna be with Elon Musk. Can't stand him. All we were doing was silencing our critics. What's wrong with that? Isn't that the American way? Wrong. Democratic committee blames hearing cancellation on miscommunication. That's right. They're always lying. They lie all the time. And they're like, oh, Trump lies. Oh, Trump lies so much. Why aren't you? Why did you cancel the big oil hearing? Miscommunication. I'm a golfer. The checks in the mail. I was making dinner, pot roast. No, it was meatloaf. Meatloaf. We were just busy that day. But we need big oil, I guess. Bad for the planet. But yeah, we'll have another time. Whatever. It wasn't about Musk, though. No problem. I actually like Rokana. I disagree with him on a lot of things, but I like him. He's one of the few good Democrats. They'll go after him, unfortunately, Democrats. Anybody good in the Democratic Party, they're like, nah, nah. Dossier time. Dossier time. They call anyone they don't like a hack. Mikey, we can see you. Angie, hello. Joel, I agree. He does. He does. I think that just taking advantage. I mean, taking advantage of the misstep of the failures of your opponent, like converting an interception into a touchdown. Let's see here. We needed, like, the world needed an Elon Musk. My God. Like, we all knew that Democrats were deceiving and lying and suppressing the truth and silencing people. And we all knew they disliked free speech. But thank God Elon Musk came and, like, said, oh, by the way, here are the Twitter files. Yeah, you're silencing everybody. This is the closest thing to the DNC emails that we've had. Joel Valdez, thank you. Kevin, thank you. Joel Valdez, thank you. Alan Harkin, thank you again, Alan, thank you. That's right, Tammy. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. What's the next line? You don't believe in sin. But as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Why am I singing this? All right, let's see here. Uh, let's see if we can. Let's just type in. Let's just type in Trump for a second. This is what, like, he has to change the narrative on this. So, Justice Department sees holding contempt. Trump, Justice Department holding it. Justice Department has federal justice contempt. You just wait and see. We'll get it out. Oh, one day soon, and the walls are closing, and the walls are closing in. Joel, the walls are closing in. JG, the walls are closing in. The walls have been closing in for 7 years. The walls are closing in. See, this is like for defendants, criminal referrals, considering criminal referrals. Oh my God! And so this is the thing. Like, he has to. Let's see what he's saying on Truth Social. See, okay, here's how difficult it is. I typed in Trump's Truth Social, and I can't get the actual Truth Social. Do you understand what I'm talking about now? See what I mean? Like, I can't get it. Where is this? Where is the then it goes to Truth Social? Like, oh, it's like I want to know, what did he say? The walls are closing in. The walls are closing in. I can't hear. Trump denies he suggested terminating. He didn't suggest terminating the Constitution. Hi, Caroline. Hello. Okay, so and here it's every Trump denies he suggested, but of course he really did. Trump. Who believes Trump? I can't do it. Republicans have yet to condemn him. Condemn Trump. Like the way they pray is like pray for mommy and daddy and condemn Trump. That's the way like they pray. God bless our family, mommy and daddy, and condemn Trump. Donald Trump is the Terminator. The Wall Street Journal. Oh no. See here's what I just I have to capitalize. I used the wrong word on the. I used the wrong word on the poll. I got moted. I moted myself. I can't find it. Where is his Truth Social account? Maybe Wikipedia will have it. Can't find it. And then you have Liz Chandler. Donald Trump believes we should terminate all rules and regulations. He's a madman. Don't listen to Elon Musk's release of all the ways that we actually broke the Constitution. I can't find it. Ask, please, God, help me find Truth Social. This is a problem. Like this is one of the problems I'm talking about. Where is his account? Oh, here it is. Come on now. Oh my God. This anyway. I can't find it. So if anybody has any ideas, Joel Valdez. You need to have an HA followers gathering. Joel Valdez. I'm boring. It would be an honor for me, but I'm boring. Um, Joel Valdez, thank you. Can I get the account link here? Link. All right, I'm gonna stop this. So this is an example. See, he needs to actually Joel Valdez, thank you. Notice how like none of these people put his link. Why doesn't he have the link pop up? Is this like who is in charge of this? This is like the scene from Spaceballs. Joel Valdez, thank you, Mikey. What is the going rate to? I don't even know what that means. Mikey, thank you. Mikey, thank you again. Mikey, thank you. Okay, so So the walls are closing in. You know what? There was a CNN article a while back that had. Okay, well, here's the thing. Like, I do agree with, yeah, when he's the underdog, you know, don't don't bet against him. I do understand that. Let's see. See, I love Devin. I think Devin Nunes is fantastic, but this like you have to be able to. There has to be like some kind of okay, so Trump's Truth Social profile link. Where is it? Maybe it's on Truth Social. Oh, I apologize. Okay, so here. He was banned from Twitter. All right. I can't find it. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, um, this is an example. Okay, this is one example. You have to be able to. You have to like. He's not. I can't find him anywhere. How can he defend himself if you can't find if he just can't find you know if you can't find him? How can he defend himself? That's why he needs to get back on Twitter. Matt Taibbi as the next installment. This is the big. These are the biggest revelations since the DNC emails. So I mean, it's really huge. I just means I agree with you on that. I do agree with you on that, Debbie. I agree with you on that also. I mean, they really like what they did. They really like they really prevented exactly. Yeah, absolutely. They really prevented people from living in the manner we've lived in this country for a long, long time, which is debate, dialogue, discourse. Like the internet was supposed to be freedom. It's like less freedom now. In a way, you're less free. You know, like when you had an Encyclopedia Britannica, you could look things up and you wouldn't have a like a liberal bias or a conservative bias. It would just be you'd look it up and you'd have that information. Kevin, thank you. Paris, unbelievable. I mean, like that's the thing. I had Twitter and I ended it, and Eric ended it. Eric Samurai. I had about like maybe 27, 28,000. people on Twitter following my account, and after like not long after 2016 and 2017, 2018, just the shadow banning just, check faint, hello. The shadow banning just started. And for me, Twitter was, Eric, thank you. For me, Twitter was a waste of time because it was like a waste of living. I mean, it was like high school, but my high school experience was a lot better than that. But it was like it would be like a 80s movie high school experience. Exactly. Prior to 2015, we all had free speech. That's the sad part of everything. That's the sad part of everything. Um, the links don't work on here. KM, thank you so much. The links are off on here, like the because I got spammed by a whole bunch of like lame accounts, so the links are off. I appreciate it. You know what? Let's just hear. I'll get it. Hold on. How do you get? Okay, hold on one second. Where where can I find Trump's True Social account link? Ding 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 ding. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so hold on one second. Doo, doo, doo. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Nah, I can't. I don't like message board. Anything to do with message boards. Tough crowd. Let's see here. Maybe here. Okay, anyway. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. I can't thank you enough, everybody. I can't thank you enough. Great live stream. I'm going to have a live stream earlier tomorrow, so I'll have a live stream at around um, I would say about 3 p.m. and also a live stream in the evening. So thank you, Joel Valdez, Alan Harkin, everybody here. Legalize Freedom, Heard Mutiny. Thank you. So everyone here, thank you. I cannot thank you enough, everybody. God bless you all. Have a great, great evening. Thank you so much. Huge news. Shungu Patsika, everybody here. Thank you so much, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Be here for the live stream in the day and be here for the upload earlier in the day because I will have an upload on this. Thanks, everybody. To my super chat, I cannot thank you enough again, everyone. Thanks so much.